There's something about the first cup of coffee of the day that it hits different than the second, third, and fourth cup. Hey guys, what's up and welcome to my channel. This week, I finally have the chance and the time to do some Christmas DIYs. Yay! I don't know about you, but Christmas kind of snuck up on me this year. Probably because I didn't spend 4 months filming Christmas content. That's probably it. So since Christmas snuck up on me, I really need to spend some time putting together some gifts. Now, luckily I don't have like a super long list of people I need to get gifts for, but I still have a list. And I really want to put together some gifts that are thoughtful yet thrifty. So all of the gifts that I'm going to be making in this video are going to be out of thrifted materials, and if they're not out of thrifted materials, they're out of scrap materials so that nothing goes to waste. And the best part about each one of these gifts is that they can be done fairly last minute. So if you're like me and you need to put together some simple yet thoughtful gifts for people on your list, you can definitely head out to your thrift store and find some very similar items to what I have and piece these gifts together. So with all of that being said, let's jump into it and let's make some thrifted last minute gifts. It is time to make the first thrifted Christmas gift, and Mom, Deb, it's your point where you gotta skip ahead. I told my mom and my stepmom that they couldn't watch a certain part of this video because I'm making them some gifts. So are they gone? Are they gone? I think they're gone. Okay, so what I'm going to be making first is probably my favorite thrifted gift that I'm going to be making, and I want to get started on it now because it's not a hard DIY, but I think it is going to be time consuming because I'm going to have to do a lot of waiting around for glue to dry. So what I'm going to be making is a thrifted glass decorative Christmas tree. I saw another content creator make this over on Instagram. I'm not sure if she's the original creator of this DIY, but the second I saw it, I saved that video so quickly and knew I had to try this. So this gift is not hard at all. All I'm gonna be doing is gluing some like plates and bowls together, but what can make this kind of a little tricky is just finding the pieces that you wanna piece together to make this Christmas tree. So when I went to the thrift store, I probably looked a little funny because I was in my cart stacking bowls and plates on top of each other trying to create this tree shape. And then if I didn't find something at one location, I would take bowls and plates in with me to the next location and start piecing this together. And I wanted to go ahead and try to make 2 of them so that you guys could see like how a few different options would look as to like what you can find thrifting. So let's get to work piecing together these Christmas trees. For my base, I got these glass candlesticks. They actually came in a pack of 8 that I found at my like first Goodwill that I went to. I wanna say like each one of these, I guess if you divide by 8, was about 50 cents. I need to clean off these bases because I didn't want to clean these glass plates and bowls yet because I wanted to save the price so that I can kind of talk you guys through how much these actually cost to make. Okay, so we've got my base and my base layer for both trees. This plate was $2.99 and this one was $3.99. So to start putting this tree together, I am using E6000. This is why I wanted to start on this DIY, because with E6000, I'm gonna have to wait about 10 to 15 minutes between all of the layers. And I did think about potentially starting with like doing the top layer, the middle layer, and then the base layer, letting all of that dry and then stacking those layers on top of each other. But I think to get the best result, I should just take this slow and steady and slowly work my way to the top. Boom, 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 boom. I've got the world's tiniest little level to also do this DIY. So let's put a generous amount of E6000 on this candlestick. And the best part about this base layer is that I know exactly where the center is. So I can line that up nicely. Now we'll pop the second base on. Level. Okay. I mean, I don't get why the first layer wouldn't be level. I'm gonna go ahead, let these sit for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then I'll be back. Okay guys, it has been 15 minutes. With E6000, you do have to wait a full like 24 to 72 hours for it to fully cure, but within the first like 10 to 15 minutes, it does get tacky. It's not fully stuck down, but I think if I'm just careful, I can go ahead and do the second layer. So for this one, it is this bowl, and for this one, it is this bowl. This bowl was $5, but I got it on sale for $3. So I can take that off, because my thrift store was having a little Christmas sale. Okay, so this bowl came with 2 other little glass dishes in it that I'm actually gonna be using for my next DIY. So this bowl was roughly like $1, I guess, if you break it down. So I think the best way to do this is to get the E6000 along the edges. I hope that works. There we go. That is level. Amazing. Okay, next one. My next layers are good. This is gonna look so pretty. So I am going to go ahead and get all of my other layers done. Of course, you guys know at this point, I'm waiting 10 to 15 minutes between those layers, and then I will be back when I get to the very top. Guys, did I not say these were gonna be the prettiest thrifted DIYs? I mean, look at these. They're not even done, and they are so pretty. I'm obsessed. I wish I could make like 100 of these for myself. Like I said, the reason I wanted to make 2 is because I wanted to show you guys a few different options of what you could come up with. But the main reason I wanted to make 2 and show you guys a few different options was for the top of the tree. In the video that I got this idea from, she used a cut glass bell, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to find a bell. I ended up finding a bell. I actually found several bells, but I liked this one the best because it didn't have a long stem on it. It just has a little bird at the top. So I love this for the top of the tree. But also, if you can't find a bell, I found this glass that kind of has a bell shape. And then for the very top of the tree, I found an old salt shaker, and I'm using the top of the salt shaker because it fits so perfectly on the top of this last glass piece. So I am going to get both of these last pieces attached, and that will complete this first thrifted gift DIY. Okay, here is the moment of truth. Look, be so careful. Oh my gosh. Oh, that came together so nicely. Okay, next one. That's level. Now I can glue the very top of this tree. Oh my gosh, these came together so beautifully. I'm obsessed. Obsessed. Okay guys, I hope you liked that first DIY because currently I just finished the 3rd layer and it's sitting right over there. But that's why I wanted to get started on the first DIY so that I could work on this DIY and the first DIY at the same time. Work smarter, not harder. So as you might be able to tell, the second DIY, I'm going to be making candles. I did this as one of my Christmas gift DIY projects last year, but the best part about candles is that 1, nobody ever gets tired of getting a new candle. I make candles and I still never get sick of getting a new candle from somebody. But the other part is that you can slightly change the way you give the candle or what you pair it with so that it feels like a completely different present. So last year I just bought some jars that I decorated and turned into candles. This time around, obviously to stick with the theme, I thrifted all of these containers that I'm gonna be turning into candles. candles. But I'm not just giving the candles. I'm going to be pairing them with a container that I'm turning into a match holder. So I went on Amazon and I got these striker stickers. They'll be arriving sometime today, and I'm going to stick those on all of the containers to turn into match holders so that I can pair it with the candle. If you are a person that doesn't readily have candle making equipment available, you can always do something super similar. So I have right here some candlesticks that came in that pack of candlesticks that I used for the previous DIY. I've got a little container I'm turning into a match holder, and then I thrifted for $1 each these candlesticks. So you can do that. You could get a pillar candle and put a pillar candle in a container and then find a container as a match holder. There are a ton of different options with this DIY, but I'm gonna be making some candles. So let me clean out all of my containers that I'm turning into candles. All of these containers are so pretty, and the best part about this is that when you work your way through the candle, you can clean this out and you have a beautiful container left over. I haven't made candles in a hot second, so I kind of forgot what I'm doing. Okay, I've got my tin. I never know how much wax to melt, so I'm pouring the wax in the containers because I'm hoping that kind of somewhat helps me gauge how much wax to melt. Yeah, okay, I think this is enough wax for these 2 containers. Great. Okay, I have all of my wax. If you've never made candles before, it is super duper easy. So I've got my wax in a tin, I've got a pot that is filled with water, and I'm gonna go melt this wax. We have some melted wax. Now my husband would be very against me putting scent in beeswax because he thinks it has just a natural nice scent, but I am going to be putting soft cashmere and amber in this beeswax. Bum bum bum. And now I'm just gonna stir this for 2 minutes. And while I was letting the wax melt, I prepped my containers with wicks. So I just used hot glue, and then I've got the little like wick holders. Hopefully this is enough wax. It probably won't be because it doesn't look like it is now that it's melted down, but you know, I tried. Okay. It has been 2 minutes. So I am going to first fill up this one because I, again, don't know how much wax I am gonna have. Okay, so I ended up needing just a little bit more wax for this final candle, so I just went ahead and heated some up, and I'm just dumping it on here to finish up this final candle. Okay, so I am going to let these candles dry. Once they're dry, I'll be back, and then we can finish up these little sets of candles with the match holders. Good morning, guys. I felt like this part of my kitchen needed a little Christmas, so this is a $1.99 fake wreath that I got at Goodwill. I also got a second one for my mantle. Yay. By the time my candles cooled and by the time I got my stickers, it was already pretty late, so I figured I would just quickly finish up this DIY with you guys this morning. And I already went ahead and finished up this one. All I had to do was remove the wick holder, cut the wick to about like a ½ inch above the wax, and then I stuck a striker sticker on the bottom of this little cup that I am turning into a match holder, and then stuck the matches in. And I love this little set. It is so cute. And now I'm just going to rinse and repeat the process with these 2 sets as well. And then for this set with the candlestick holders and the candlesticks, I'm just gonna stick a striker sticker on this, and then we can move on to the final thrifted gift DIY. Okay guys, guys, it is time to put this final thrifted gift DIY together, and I am so excited to put together this gift. So what I am making is a little thrifted gift basket. I don't know about you, but baskets at every thrift store or Goodwill are always so cheap. There's always so many of them. So I thrifted 3 baskets, and I'm gonna be making 3 gift baskets out of them. So for my gift baskets, I've got a little bit of a theme, and that is bees. Yay! If you're new to my channel, I absolutely love bees, and that might be because my husband is a commercial beekeeper. So I know too much about those ladies and how they work and the work they do, and I also know too much about the honey industry. So I really wanted to put together a gift basket that incorporates the honey that my husband has for sale at his farm. The honey is not hitting the mark of thrifted, but it is hitting the mark of thrift tea, because I feel like you can get a nice jar of real honey, just make sure it's real, for $12 to $15. And the best way to do that is to just buy from your local beekeepers. If you don't have a local beekeeper, I'll put a link down below to this honey, because it is really good, and I can guarantee it is 100% real American honey. So beyond the honey in my gift basket, I also yesterday went ahead and made some more beeswax candles, and I thrifted these ceramic pots because I just felt like they fit the vibe of my bee-themed gift basket a little bit better. And then the final thing that I am making to complete my bee-themed basket is beeswax wraps. If you don't know what beeswax wraps are, it's basically a reusable food storage. So instead of using plastic wrap, you can use beeswax wraps, and they're very easy to make. So for my beeswax wraps, I have some fabric here that is just scrap fabric that I'm gonna be using, but then also I went ahead and thrifted some men's button-up shirts. The reason I went with men's button-up shirts is because I can guarantee that this is 100% cotton, because the tag told me. To make these beeswax wraps, you need to use 100% cotton. And then beyond the fabric, you need some scissors. I recommend pinking shears because they're gonna make it so that the fabric doesn't fray. And then you also need some beeswax. So I'm gonna go ahead and first get my fabric cut out into a whole bunch of different size squares, and then we can go from there. I went ahead and cut out all of my shirts. I decided to not cut out all of my fabric right now because I realized there's gonna be a point where I'm gonna have to let all of this dry. So while I let the first round of beeswax wraps dry, I can cut out more fabric and then make more. So I just have some beeswax in a thrifted bowl, and I'm gonna heat this up in the microwave and then try to paint the beeswax on the fabric. We'll see what happens. We might try a few different techniques and see what works best. Okay, it took about 6 minutes in the microwave, so I definitely could have heated up some more, but I'm just going to dip this paintbrush and start painting it on. And this is laying on parchment paper, by the way. I think I need to like somehow even more evenly distribute this out. I have my first fabric coated in wax, but it's not very even, so I cut another piece of parchment paper. I'm gonna lay that down, and then I grabbed my iron to try to heat this wax back up and work it in a little bit better. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Oh yeah, that looks so much nicer. Way more even. Okay, I'm gonna leave that on. Just heat this up again. We're gonna set this aside to dry. And then I'm gonna go ahead and make the rest of these beeswax wraps with the fabric that I have cut out. Okay guys, I am on my 6th beeswax wrap, and I think by now I've developed a little bit of a technique that I think works the nicest. And I think that is the less is more technique. Start with basically just a little bit of the beeswax and working it into the fabric. You don't have to like fully saturate it because the iron and heating it up is gonna kind of evenly distribute it. I'm going to grab some parchment paper. Also, with the parchment paper, you'll really be able to tell where you're missing wax if you have to add more. And this just also makes it so that it's less messy and there's less wax spilling out over the edges. Got some dry spots along the edges here. So now we can add more wax. Yeah, that's so much better. So the first one that I made, there was like a whole bunch of wax stuck to the edges of the wrap. And now I have no wax because there's just enough to really soak into this fabric. So I'm gonna set this off to the side and then grab this piece of parchment paper and reuse it. Okay guys, I went ahead and made my first round of beeswax wraps, and I really want to reuse this parchment paper, so I want to put together my first basket so that I can reuse this parchment paper. And I ended up not using one of the pieces I cut out so that I could kind of use it as a little basket liner because it looks so cute. So the first thing I need to do is just start folding up these beeswax wraps so that I can put them together as a little pack. These were so easy to make and very quick to make. It really doesn't take long to make a bunch of them. I have all of my beeswax wraps stacked. I just counted, I have 10 of them, and I cut a strip of fabric, and I'm just going to, can I tie around? Do I have enough for that? I think I do. So, I'm gonna go around to the back, and then come to the front, pull tight, snip. Yay! And I have my first stack of beeswax wraps. Now I can stick these in. Okay, I'll make this look better in a little bit, but this completes my first bee-themed gift basket. Yay! So I'm gonna go ahead, make some more beeswax wraps for my next 2 gift baskets, and that will complete this 3rd and final thrifted last minute gift. And that is it, guys. Mom, Deb, you also can't watch the end of this video, so scooch on out of here. Guys, I had so much fun piecing together and making these thrifted gifts, and I really wanted to do a quick cost breakdown of what I spent to piece together and make these gifts. So for the first thrifted gift that is sitting right over here on my mantle, the glass Christmas trees. So one tree ended up being $20 and the other tree ended up being $18. The one that was slightly more expensive was the one with the bell, because the bell was the priciest piece out of both trees. And I love these trees so much. I wish I could keep them, but I already said I am giving them away. So get ready to watch me make 50 more of these next year. I love them. And piecing all of the dishware and bowls together is so much fun. It is like a scavenger hunt. And when you find all of the components to make your tree, it feels like Christmas Day. And then next up is my little candle sets. So for each candle set, it obviously varied in price. So I spent anywhere from $5 to $10. The set that ended up being the cheapest was the candlestick holder with the candlesticks. That set was $5. And then all of the other candles were anywhere from $6 to $10. And I love those sets so much. I think that's such a fun way to gift a candle. And again, the best part is once you work through the candle, you have a pretty container in the end. And then the final gift that I put together was the gift baskets. I am doing a cost breakdown minus the honey. You don't have to incorporate honey. I am just incorporating honey because I know my family really wants to try the honey that my husband produces at his farm. If you were to put together just the gift basket minus the honey, it can cost you anywhere from $12 to $18. So one of the baskets, I ended up putting 10 beeswax wraps in it, and so that was the most expensive basket at $18. And if you did want to go the route of adding honey but still keeping the basket under $20, you could always get little gift size jars of honey. I've definitely seen those at my local stores, so I'm sure you could find something similar. And that is everything. That is how I made my thrifted gifts and what I spent on them. And I think the best part about these thrifted gifts is that it's very much choose your own adventure, and you can make them as expensive or as cheap as you want them to be. So I hope you guys liked this video and projects, and I hope these thrifted gifts gave you some ideas of what you could piece together last minute for your friends and family. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys, and Merry Christmas.